Welcome to Return to Athens. Today, lead-up news from the track. The flame continues to touch the hearts of all who carry her. And we predict mountain bikes gold medalists. All that and more as we return to Athens. To lead-up news and the Rome Golden League meet, where the men's 110-metre hurdles promised a showdown between Olympic champion Alan Johnson and Chinese sensation Zhang Liu. Liu, who has the fastest time in the world this year at 13.06 seconds, made his move with just 25 metres to go, reeling in a tiring Johnson, the race a dead heat. In other men's events, Aziz Zakari of Ghana upset pre-race favourite and Commonwealth Games champion Kim Collins in the 100. Both looking strong for Athens, Zakari home in an impressive 10.1 ahead of Dwight Thomas of Jamaica, Collins only 0.2 away in third. Another upset in the 1500 when world record holder Hisham El Garouj finished 8th behind Rashid Ramzi of Bahrain. Ramzi just failed to break the 3.5-minute mark, finishing in 3:30.25. In the 3,000-metre steeplechase, Kenyan Paul Kipsali Koech established his credentials as the man to beat in Athens, streeting the field by nearly the length of the straight. Another upset, world 400-metre champion Ana Guevara convincingly defeated by the Bahamas' Tanique Williams in 49.25, the fastest time this year. Despite the loss though, don't rule out a big performance from Guevara at the Games. In the women's 100, Yulia Nestorenko of Belarus has her preparation on track with victory in 11.13. And in the 800, victory to Slovenia's Jolanda Čeplak, who set a season best of 1 minute 57.68 seconds. Another girl to watch will be Russian Svetlana Cherkasova, home in a time of 1:58.02. To see more track action, why not book tickets to the athletics, which is to be held in the main Olympic Stadium from days 7 until 15 of the competition. Prices for tickets to the track are designed to cater for most people's wallets. The cheaper seats will set you back just €10, while a prime seat close to the action costs $300. The men's and women's world number ones in mountain biking continued their dominance of the discipline, both winning gold on a slippery and tough track at Calgary's Olympic Park. The men's event entailed 7 laps, and while weather conditions were fine at the start, it wasn't long before Mother Nature decided to make things difficult. Heavy rain began to fall, followed by thunder and lightning, all not expected in Athens. Many driven to the sidelines. Filip Mierhager of Belarus, however, having no such problems. The reigning world champion victorious in 2 hours, 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Switzerland's Christoph Sauser, the silver, 3:28 off the pace, while Spain's Jose Antonio Hermida was third in 2:15.19.
I feel really good in the mud. I feel really confident in the mud. And this is what I showed also. I came back really quickly once it started to rain hard.
The 43 female riders were lucky that their race took place earlier in the day when conditions were much better. Gunn-Rita Dahl of Norway led from start to finish in the event for her 9th consecutive mountain bike World Cup title. In an awesome display of riding, the 32-year-old completed the 5 laps of the 5.5k track in a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes and 28 seconds.
A little bit shocked. It's my 10th in the row. It's my 15th World Cup in my career, and I won the World Cup overall. already.
Mary McConaughey of the United States finished second in 147.14, while Italy's Annabella Straparo overcame a rib injury to lock up third after crossing the line in 148.48. To our medal predictions for the men's event, and second place getter at the final hit-out before the Games, Swiss rider Christoph Sauser looks set to take the gold. In the women's, in-form rider Norwegian Gunn-Rita Dahl looks everything a winner and is a short-priced favourite for the gold. Italian Annabella Straparo is our prediction for the silver medal, American Mary McConaughey the bronze. The Olympic flame has been carried through Berlin 68 years after the Games were held there under Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime. The flame arrived from Munich, host city, in 1972, where it had landed from the 1960 host city, Rome. In a special moment, one of the people welcoming the flame back to the German capital was Siegfried Eifrig, who took part in the 1936 Olympics.
This is a great honour, of course, but I probably owe it to my age. Only over the years did this become an issue again. For 60 years there was peace and quiet and not a soul was interested. And then in 1996, during the celebrations of 100 years of modern Olympic Games, the torch became an issue again.
While it's remembered as being held under the Nazi regime, Berlin's Games is most famous for the introduction of the torch relay, in which a lighted torch is carried from Olympia to the site of the current Games. The 1936 Games were also the first to be broadcast on a form of television. 25 large screens were set up throughout Berlin, allowing people to see the Games without attending the venues. Several sports made their debut. Basketball, canoeing and handball made their first appearances, while polo was included in the Olympic program for the final time. While at the main stadium, two men would cause a huge sensation during the long jump competition. In an affront to the racist ideals of the Nazis, African-American sprinter Jesse Owens' German rival, Luz Long, publicly befriended him. Owens rubbing salt into the wounds, he finished the Games with 4 gold medals. While it was plagued by rough seas, not the best weather for sailing, however, at least the lead-up event offered an honest assessment of contenders for a gold medal. Currently ranked 3rd in the world, Bermudan Peter Bromby prepared in the best possible style with victory in the star class. Sweden's Martin Strandberg took the honours in the tornado class ahead of Russia's Andrei Kirilluk, with Roland Gabler of Germany 3rd. Marcus Bayer had to settle for joint 2nd place in the 49ers behind Pietro Sabello of Italy. "18-year-old Australian Nathan Outeridge was the undoubted star in the 420s, running away with the victory ahead of the British duo of Luke Patience and Lucy McGregor. If sailing is your sport, there is plenty to see with 11 events in the competition schedule. 4 are for men only, 4 just for women, and 3 are open to all. The sailing takes place at the Agios Kosmas Olympic Sailing Centre from the 14th to the 28th of August. More on lead-up events, and India and Pakistan met to determine who would finish 3rd and 4th in the Rabobank Trophy. The 4-team tournament, a hotly contested one, with hosts the Netherlands meeting Germany in the final. Pakistan the first to score at the 7-minute mark from a penalty corner. India, who conceded 12 goals in the round-robin stage, drew level in the 14th minute through captain Dilip Traiki. Pakistan, who had previously thrashed India 6-1, moved back into the lead following another penalty corner, Sohail Abbas marking his 200th appearance for Pakistan with the goal. Pakistan leading 2-1 at half-time, but 5 minutes into the second half, India drew level when Baljit Singh scored. India, who had only scored 1 goal in their 3 group games, moved into a 3-2 lead thanks to a goal from Gagan Arjit Singh in the 47th minute. India's lead lasted 10 minutes, Rehan Butt quickly reacting following a penalty corner, and Pakistan were level. Pakistan reclaimed the lead in the 65th minute when Sohail Abbas scored his second goal of the game from a penalty corner. Two minutes from full-time, Raheen Butt ensured Pakistan would finish third and take a psychological advantage over their arch-rivals when he scored his second goal of the game as Pakistan ran out 5-3 winners. While the Pakistanis celebrated taking the bronze medal to the gold medal game, and in front of a passionate and parochial crowd, the hosts raced into a 2-0 lead within 5 minutes. First, Matthias Brouwer in the second minute, then Floris Evers just a couple of minutes later. In the 10th minute, the Germans made it onto the scoresheet via Christoph Beckmann. However, the 2-goal advantage in the Dutchman's favour was re-established in the 20th minute thanks to Martin Eichelboom. A rollercoaster of a game saw the Germans reduce the deficit to 1 before the interval as a result of Björn Emmeling's 25th minute goal. And in the 37th minute, the visitors restored parity through the prolific Björn Mikkel. "13 minutes later, they forged ahead, Christopher Zeller the scorer. The Dutch now having to play catch-up hockey for the first time in the match. They did just that 4 minutes later when Ronald Brouwer found the back of the net. Both teams are in different pools for their preliminary rounds in Athens, but if the standard is anything like this, a rematch for a medal is more than likely. And with 5 minutes remaining, Matthias Withaus then hit what transpired as the winner for the visitors. Final score, Germany 5, the Netherlands 4. If you'd like to see the Germans in action, you'll need to book a ticket to the Olympic Hockey Centre. Competition is from days 1 until 14. Tickets are reasonably priced. The basic cost is just €10, while the best seats in the house will set you back $60. Our medal predictor also agreeing that the German team is worth a look, as they are the gold medal favourites. The silver medal should go to the Netherlands, with the bronze medal going to Pakistan. Continuing the torch relay, and the next stop, Helsinki, host of the 1952 Games. The first torchbearer was one of Finland's many famous distance runners, Lasse Viren, winner of 4 Olympic golds over 5,000 and 10,000 metres in 1972 and 76. It had been raining for 10 days non-stop in Finland's capital, but the sun came out and the temperature rose as thousands of Finns lined the route to welcome the flame. The flame arrived shortly after dawn in the city, the 29th and the most northerly destination of its tour of the planet. Starting in the main square, the relay passed the town hall and paused outside the Olympic Stadium alongside the statue of Paavo Nurmi, the Flying Finn dominated distance running in the 1920s, winning 9 gold and 3 silver Olympic medals. Nurmi, who died in 1973, carried the flame into the Olympic Stadium in '52. A course of around 50 kilometres was covered by 120 torchbearers, who were selected by a combination of public voting on the internet and a jury review. Among those participating were marathon specialist Veikko Karvanon, Lady Mayor of Helsinki Eva Rittal-Sitonen, and 1991 Miss Finland Tanja Kapela, now the Minister for Culture and Sport. To the latest on the Olympic City's security efforts and services allocated for the protection of the event, including police and military personnel, are now out and about Athens in force. Recently, the Greek government set forward the security plan that has been devised by a 7-nation advisory group and includes all the latest technology. There is now a visible presence of forces patrolling and guarding around sports venues, crowded and frequently visited public squares, hotels and other Olympic-related sites, some with sniffer dogs. Anyone thinking of trespassing or taking a sneak preview of Olympic facilities, be warned. The security at all venues from now on will be extremely tight. Georgios Voulgarakis, the Public Order Minister who is in charge of security operations for the Games, reiterating that securing the Olympic venues is now well underway and nothing will alter until after the Games have concluded.
For us, Olympics are started today for the police and the army and all the others that are authorized to keep these measures. Olympic Games are from today. In the Olympic cities, we're going to have 70,000 people. 70,000 people. Today we've brought here in Athens 11,000 of them. And gradually we're going to have more and more and more till the final number.
Voulgarakis met with police officials to review procedures for Athens' crowded downtown Omonia Square, a site where, due to the heavy flow of hundreds of tourists and pedestrians on a daily basis, will be heavily policed during the Games. A total of some 120 sites around the city will be guarded around the clock by personnel who are part of a wide-ranging security team. Many of the police personnel have been drawn from around Greece to be part of the security effort. The security plan will be implemented on a gradual basis throughout July and will culminate in a lockdown, the sealing off of Olympic venues from everyone except authorised personnel by mid-month. NATO surveillance planes will monitor the skies, while Interpol will send representatives to the city and directly access its vast international databases for any information regarding threats. Several hundred divers and armed guards will be deployed at the port of Piraeus, where 7 luxury cruise ships will berth to provide accommodation for Olympic officials and visitors. Organisers said apart from traffic restrictions around venues, there would also be restrictions on the movement of ships in the Saronic Gulf. To check that all is in readiness, Games organisers over the last 12 months have staged a series of large-scale exercises on nuclear, biological and chemical threats, hostage situations, hijacking and other threats. On to some lighter news now, and Greece received a huge morale boost to preparations and local pride when the nation defeated Portugal in the Euro 2004 football tournament. The return of the Greek national soccer team from Euro 2004 surely should have happened quietly weeks ago after the expected group stage exit. Instead, Greece shocked novices and experts alike in making the final of the tournament and then winning the competition, courtesy of a 1-0 victory over the tournament hosts Portugal. Undoubtedly one of the most extraordinary outcomes in the history of international football, and it's just the sort of tonic the country needs ahead of the opening ceremony. Both the men's and women's football competitions will be hosted in 5 cities: Athens, Volos, Heraklio, Thessaloniki and Patras, with all finals taking place in Athens. Tickets start at just €10, with top class seats setting you back €140. The Olympic flame has once again been carried through the 1980 host city, Moscow. Leonid Tyagichev, the Russian Olympic Committee chairman, commenced the relay, then passed the flame to Poita Bolodnikov, the 1960 Olympic gold medalist over 10,000 metres. 12 of Russia's best-known athletes among the carriers, including Sydney pentathlon gold medalist Dmitry Svadkovsky, 2000 tennis silver medalist Elena Dementieva and former world figure skating champion Maria Butrskaya.
Honestly, I was worrying this morning, and I'm still worrying now how it will all go.
Butrskaya took the flame into Manez Square, adjacent to Red Square, where thousands of spectators were gathered. Runners took the torch across the Moscow River and up the long rise to the Vorobyovy Hills that loom just south of the city centre. Then it made its way along the banks of the river to the enormous Luzhniki Stadium and onto the city's showpiece avenue, Verskaya Street, before ending at Red Square. More on the Flames' final journey back to Greece next week. But that's it for this edition. Remember to keep watching Return to Athens as we bring you the latest in the behind-the-scenes news and views in the lead-up to Athens 2004.